and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where of course we are going to be looking ahead to Sunday's encounter between Barca and Girona in La Liga. And I think it's very, very interesting here ahead of this game, wondering what the lineup is going to be. It's been a pretty quick turnaround, of course, since Thursday's game against Osasuna, and also, of course, considering so many players played well, so many players here have put their name in the hat, and we're going to be talking a lot about that team today and about words from Hansi Flick, with particular emphasis on what he had to say about Ansu Fati, guys. All of that is coming up here today. Get yourselves ready and let's do this. Because indeed, guys, coming into this weekend in La Liga, well, Barca very much on top of things still. And it's a really nice feeling to be right there back at the top with that cushion between us and Real Madrid. And of course, Atletico Madrid today dropping more points. So right now, they are 6 points back. And also right now having played a game more. Are they out of the title race as it stands? Not all that many games to go. And of course Barca know exactly what they need to do, because Atleti today did drop points against Espanyol, who've also taken points this season off Real Madrid. And Real later on today will play at home against Leganés, who are right down there in the relegation fight. But at the end of the day, Leganés earlier in the season did beat Barca. So, you know, anything can happen right here. It's all up in the air, and let's hope for more slip-ups here. But let's make sure that we are doing our job on Sunday, and that's at home against Girona. But in terms of the team selection here, I think it's going to be interesting to see what Hansi Flick does, because like I say, it is a quick turnaround. You know, lots of the players there that were involved against Osasuna, they may be called into action again here on the Sunday, and it is the earlier kickoff as well. That's something to be aware of, but we didn't have to push that hard against Osasuna. I think that's important there. It wasn't as though for the full 90 minutes, you know, we were running flat out, we were sprinting around the field. We had the game under control. We managed it there on our own terms. Now, one thing to be aware of here is Frenkie de Jong, because he actually came off, of course, at half-time against Osasuna. And can I just say, I thought he played very, very well in that game. You know, I know I didn't mention him yesterday, but that was nothing at all in particular to do with him. It's just in some videos, I don't mention every single play. You know, I thought he played very well. He's having an excellent second half of the season. There is absolutely no doubt about that. He is now again a key player at Barca, but he did come off, like I say, at half-time. Pablo Torre came on in his place, and Frenkie actually went off as a precaution there. They felt as though he had a little bit of an overload there heading into that second half, and now we're hearing that he does have a little bit of an adductor strain. And what that means here is that Frenkie may or may not be involved against Girona. That's going to be interesting to keep an eye on here, because of course, don't forget, on Wednesday we've got that massive Copa del Rey second leg against Atletico Madrid. So will Frenkie be rested here, maybe give him a little bit of time, a few more days to just get back to 100% before the crucial games that we have to come against Atleti, and of course, not far away, the games against Borussia Dortmund. But Frenkie, he's been excellent. We want him involved when he is available, but we will not want to risk him at all in this game. But I do want to talk here about somebody who did come on in midweek against Osasuna. He came on, of course, for Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez, and he was excellent. And what I want to do here, before we talk about Ansu Fati, I want you to listen to what Hansi Flick had to say about Fermin here. The way that he expresses his appreciation for the player and his appreciation for what he does in training here. Because when talking about Fermin, Flick said today, he's a great fighter. He's a great person. Sometimes he doesn't always play, but he always gives everything. That's Fermin. He's helpful. He proves himself in every game, and I'm so happy that he's here. He's a great player. Now, that's very, very interesting, and you can understand that. Fermin seems like an absolutely fantastic character. He seems as though he's somebody there who grabs every chance, grabs every opportunity, really applies himself in every moment on the field and in training. But like I say, look at the contrast now in how Flick spoke about Fermin, and then when he was asked about Ansu Fati's situation. Because he said, look, I know the situation with Ansu, he's not been playing, but he said each player has to give his 100% every day, every week, and to show us, the coaches and everybody else, that they deserve to play. That's the job that all players have. And that is all that I have to say about that. And I just thought that was such a big quote, to be honest, there. He didn't just come out and say, oh, you know, Ansu, he'll get his chance, he'll get his opportunity. He specifically singled out there the fact that, okay, you've got to give you 100% in every training session. You've got to show us why you should be playing. And that has been there, the clearest statement for me, that Flick is just not happy. You know, it's not necessarily here about boardroom pressure. It's not necessarily here about the fact that Ansu just maybe isn't as good as the players in and around him there pushing for spots. But Flick wants to see more. He wants to see more in training. He's said that now on numerous occasions. And I think it's tricky for Ansu. I really do. I think he's in a really tricky spot right now. And it's an unfortunate situation, you know, especially with him, with everything that he's been through. Of course, he's had so much misfortune along the way. This is a player I didn't want to see go down this road. I didn't want to see this start to happen to him. But it's really complicated right now for him at Barca. I'm sad by that. I'm sad by his whole situation. But looking at those words from Flick there, looking at the way that he's openly and publicly talking here about the effort that every player needs to bring, that is not, it really, really isn't a good sign for Ansu. But of course, guys, one player who absolutely took their chance, you know, he's waited incredibly patiently for it too. Pablo Torre, of course, for so many games there. He wasn't involved, he wasn't playing, he wasn't anywhere near the team. He kept his head down though. He's been working so hard, and he was brilliant when he came on against Osasuna. Now, in my honest opinion, I'd love to see him start. I really, really would. I'd love to see him there rewarded with that kind of display, with a start in a game like this. Do I think realistically that's going to happen? I think probably not, because there are players in this team maybe that are just ahead of him right now. But I hope he's involved. You know, even if he doesn't start this game, even if he's not there in the starting team sheet, let's bring him on. What I would hate to see now is that following on from that kind of performance, that kind of impact, if he played no minutes here. You know, we don't want to do that there to his confidence, to his momentum. We need to see more of him. And in my opinion, it absolutely must continue right here. Because in terms of the potential starting lineup, guys, heading into this game, of course there we are going to be relying on Szczesny in goal, and we are moving ever closer now to his contract extension there. Verbal agreement between him and the club. He is going to be staying, and that is absolutely fantastic news. And then along the back line, I think Pau Kubasi, he's likely to come back in. You know, he could have maybe played on Thursday, but it would have been quite a quick turnaround there, of course, following that little injury he had while away with Spain. So I think he will come back here alongside Inigo, much to Osasuna's dismay. They hate to see Inigo in the starting lineup. And on that appeal, by the way, Barca still remain very, very calm. They do not believe they have done anything wrong with regard to Inigo. And then are we going to see Koundé or Alejandro Balde? Or is this going to be a game here maybe for Gerard Martin, for Hector Fort? Could you see any rotation there in the full-back areas? But in midfield, if Frenkie is to be rested, I think it's going to be Gavi and Pedri there alongside him. But I would not expect Gavi to complete this game as well. He played 90 minutes on Thursday. It is a quick turnaround, and maybe I could even see Gavi dropping out of the starting lineup. Even though he was brilliant in the last game, Barca do not want to overburden him. You've got Lamine Yamal. He also needs rest at some point, of course. Rafinha should come back in here with Fermin Lopez. I believe he's going to be the man in the number 10. I think after those words from Flick, he's really happy with him. He wants to reward him. He wants him to be in this starting lineup. But like I say, let's bring Pablo Torre on. Let's make sure he's still involved in this game. And I would expect Robert Lewandowski to return there. A goal on Thursday off the bench. I expect him to be back in the starting lineup here with Fermin available. He's there to come on. He's there when you need him. And we may just need that, in fact, guys. But do let me know, do you like that team? Would you like to see that there? Would you like to see maybe a little bit more rotation? Do you think Pablo Torre has done enough to earn himself a start? And what changes would you make to that team that we saw on Thursday, guys? And if I had to give a score prediction here today, let me go with Barca 3, Girona 0. Let's go with back-to-back 3-0 victories, back-to-back clean sheets, and let's keep on rolling. Let's keep this train moving on, powering forward in our quest to win absolutely everything right here this season, guys. Let me know exactly how you're feeling here, and I will see you after the game on Sunday, hopefully for some more celebrating. Thank you indeed, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for all of your great support. But until next time, as always, Vejka, El Barça.